Today, we are exploring how Geographic Information Systems, GIS, shape the way we understand and manage disasters. The key idea is simple. Disasters unfold in space, and GIS helps us make sense of that space. If we ignore geography, we miss the very structure of the problem. Let's begin with a claim that guides nearly all emergency work. Information reduces uncertainty. GIS strengthens that information by adding two crucial elements, location and context. If I only know what happened but not where, my ability to respond effectively drops dramatically. Knowing the location turns data into actionable insight. In disaster settings, GIS serves a central purpose to support rapid, evidence-based decision-making. It moves us beyond simply making maps to performing spatial analysis, asking more profound questions such as, how will this hazard spread, or which systems are most exposed? Imagine a fictional warehouse fire near a rail corridor that releases hazardous smoke. GIS helps break down the situation. Problem, GIS action, result. Which households may inhale dangerous smoke? Overlay wind direction, topography, census blocks, and assisted living facilities. Responders identify specific streets for door-to-door warnings rather than issuing a blanket alert. The goal is precision, protecting the right people at the right time. In public health emergencies, GIS is typically used for two primary functions. Function, what it does. Risk profiling maps where vulnerable populations live, individuals with heat sensitivity, limited mobility, chronic respiratory conditions, and more. Service planning assesses whether clinics, mobile units, or medicine cold chains are correctly located and adequately scaled to meet projected demand. Effective GIS depends on cross-sector collaboration. Disaster response is not a solo effort. It involves emergency management agencies, hospitals and health departments, transportation and utility providers, community organizations, and NGOs. A significant barrier is stovepipe data systems, where agencies store information in incompatible formats that cannot talk to each other. To overcome these barriers, teams rely on GIS as a common operating picture. This means using standardized data models, open or interoperable platforms, and a shared spatial reference. The result is a map that everyone can trust, a single, accurate version of the truth during chaotic situations. Of course, disasters rarely unfold under ideal conditions. Connectivity often fails. Field teams use tools such as GPS-enabled tablets, offline survey applications like Survey123 or Kobo, and automatic data syncing once a signal becomes available. This ensures that critical field observations aren't lost even when networks are. GIS directly informs operational decisions. Task, GIS output. Hotspot detection. Spatial cluster map showing concentrated case areas. Resource distribution. Optimize routing for ambulances, water trucks, or supply shipments. Impact modeling. Simulations of flood extent, landslide risk, or mosquito breeding habitat. GIS also sharpens our ability to communicate risk. 1. Geofencing creates digital boundaries around hazard zones. 2. Only residents within those boundaries receive alerts. 3. SMS, push notifications, or emails reach exactly the people who need them, no more, no less. This reduces public confusion and improves trust in official messaging. Significant events, such as concerts, sporting events, and religious gatherings, require detailed preparation. GIS helps planners simulate crowd evacuation under different scenarios, track crowd density using sensors or drone imagery, reposition first aid stations or EMS units in real time as conditions shift. These tools keep high-density events safe and manageable. Effective GIS depends on diverse data layers. Data type, description, examples. Physical base, foundational geographic layers, roads, elevation, waterways. Socioeconomic characteristics of people and communities. Age, language, and household size. Disaster-specific, dynamic event data, damage assessments, satellite imagery, health case reports. More specialized layers enhance situational awareness. Layer type, examples. Infrastructure, power lines, fiber networks, and pumping stations. Human systems, shelters, hospitals, schools, distribution hubs. Environmental, floodplains, burn scars, and active fault lines. GIS excels at linking datasets by location. Suppose we have dataset A, individuals relying on home oxygen, and dataset B, areas projected to lose power during a storm. Together, they identify patients who require priority evacuation or generator support. High-quality GIS requires disciplined data management, version control to avoid conflicting layers, a designated single source of truth, and clear access permissions for sensitive information. Good data discipline prevents both duplication and dangerous errors. Local communities contribute knowledge that no satellite can replace, mapping informal settlements not shown on official maps, documenting locations historically prone to flooding, and identifying community-defined gathering points and safe zones. This input enhances accuracy and builds trust. GIS supports proactive planning. Planning task, GIS capability. Vulnerability mapping, overlaying hazard data with population exposure and coping capacity. Logistics, identifying the fastest and safest routes updated with road closures. Historical hazard analysis using decades of wildfire burn data to guide new zoning rules. A common framework defines vulnerability as vulnerability equals hazard times exposure times coping capacity. For example, hazard, increasingly intense heat waves. Exposure, neighborhoods with little tree cover. Coping capacity, residents without air conditioning or cooling centers nearby. Together, these factors create heightened heat risk. GIS provides value at all stages. Phase, GIS role. Mitigation, identifying buildings needing reinforcement or relocation. Response, rapid damage mapping using drones and satellite feeds. Recovery, monitoring, rebuilding progress, and tracking allocation of funds. With so much at stake, data integrity is essential. GIS teams must control how and when maps are updated, prevent the spread of inaccurate layers, and maintain a secure, verified public portal for official information. 2 simple but powerful GIS tools. Task, tool. Convert addresses to coordinates, geocoding. Connect multiple datasets using shared location attributes, address matching. These processes create the foundation for more advanced modeling. After any disaster response, teams ask, was the map accurate at the scale needed? Did teams collect data consistently across locations? Did the system process information quickly enough for real-time use? These questions help improve the next response. Different hazards require tailored GIS tools. Hazard, GIS use. Earthquake, mapping soil liquefaction areas and building fragility. Flood, modeling water depth, flow direction, and likely overflow zones. Epidemic, analyzing clusters of cases across time and space. Closing line. GIS is far more than a tool for making maps. It is a form of spatial intelligence, a way of perceiving crises that enables us to act more quickly, allocate resources more effectively, and ultimately save lives.